Hello, welcome to the When I Have Spare Time podcast. My name is Frank, and I'm here to talk. Not sure about what, but I'm here to talk. So, I walk to work, and I usually work in the morning, and so if you notice that because people are like robots. There's some people who do have a morning routine where they, are doing the same thing as you're doing, the same thing as you're walking to where you're going, and they're doing what they're doing. And I've noticed a few things. There's this homeless guy who lives on whatever street on the sidewalk, and I've had to walk by him I don't know how many times, but I think it was like last week I was walking by him and I'm like, man, the homeless problem in Los Angeles is really bad. Like, it's like pretty much every park you go to, there's a bunch of homeless people living there now. Pretty much under every freeway pass, there's a bunch of homeless people. Like, downtown LA, there's supposedly 1 million homeless people. I don't know how they count these people, but I've heard on the news. I've heard that there's there's actually over 1 million homeless people in downtown LA. And if you do walk around there, it's really weird when you see literally $1 million high-rise buildings or condos, and then a block over, it's just homeless people, just a whole sidewalk of tents. Okay, and then sometimes, which I don't understand what they're doing in these tents, a tent will catch fire. And you're like, dude, what the fuck is in that tent? What? I mean, because some of them are cooking food and stuff. Some of them are really doing stuff in these tents, and I'm just like, when you got tents catching fire, you got fire departments coming down to downtown LA to put out homeless tents. It's like, dude, what the fuck? And then they live in, I guess, the forest and by creeks and stuff, and the LA River, they have to have the river the water right out to the ocean so the city doesn't flood. They live in those areas. That's where a lot of our fires come from, is from homeless people, because they make camps, and I don't know why. We don't okay. Do you know how many homeless bills, initiatives, whatever, have been passed in California? Dozens. As long as I remember, every 2 years. Every 2 elections. There's a bunch of elections, right? Because there's the presidential election, but then there's other elections. Once every second election, there's been some kind of homeless bill or homeless tax or homeless this or homeless that. Okay, so throughout my life, let's just, round it down. There's been 30 homeless things that have passed, okay? Why are there still homeless people then? So, obviously, the homeless people is actually a tool that the government uses to tax us more. Because everyone's like, oh yeah, let's solve the problem because it affects everyone, meaning you don't want to see it and it's annoying. And so people vote, to help the homeless because they just don't want, who wants to drive under a freeway pass and see a tent city? And then they smell really bad, and then they're so dirty they start their own diseases. It's just bad for society. It's bad for us health-wise. It's just bad all around, okay? But because nothing gets solved, I just think it's a tool for the government to take more money from us. That's why I stopped voting. Well, I think out of all the times I've voted and there's been a homeless thing, I think I've only voted once to help them because I'm oh, this sounds like a good act, and then it did pass and nothing changed, and so I'm okay, this is all bullshit. I'm never gonna vote yes on a homeless thing again. And basically, anytime it's to raise taxes, I vote no. But it was just one time for a homeless. I believe it was a homeless what's it called, rehabilitation center. So you take someone off the street, get them cleaned up, you fix them up, mentally and stuff, and train them in a job, to put them back on to society. Like I voted yes for that because that sounded like a great idea. It never happened, but they still take the money. You see, so I'm like, this is just a scam. So like, I'm done. But anyway, so I don't know, but yeah, like we gotta basically like to solve the homeless problem, you have to move. Like that's the only way, because and then especially now because of the lockdown, uh, it's just made even more homeless people. You know, the poor people have gotten really poor the past year, and the rich people have stayed the same or have gotten richer. So after the election, when the lockdown magically ends, we're gonna see some big changes here because there's a lot of homeless people, a lot of businesses have closed down, a lot of people still don't have jobs, and I don't know, but yeah, like so, like I don't know, but we gotta stop. I saying weak like anyone listens, but like we have to stop voting on all these tax increases and like these homeless things because it's just a tool. And like that's the thing, like the reason why I think the lock, because like COVID isn't real, it's all bullshit. But I think because notice the flu and pneumonia cases, you remember, you know how like every time it's flu season they like tell you how many flu cases that like we've had. Apparently we've had 0 flu cases, but like we have plenty of COVID cases. Because COVID isn't real. It's just the flu or pneumonia, but they're calling it COVID. It's a fucking scam, and it's like we gotta stop listening to the government because this is a big problem. The government wants our money. Rich people want our money. The reason why rich people are rich because they keep taking our money. But anyway, that's just how it is. Anyway, have a good one.